finding your voice, a singer's journey.
Welcome to Finding Your Voice, a Singer's Journey. Today we're joined by Ladylucci.
Hello.
So welcome to the show, Ludovica. Ladylucci is an independent artist and she has an R&B sound and a soulful voice. She describes herself as a small woman with big emotions, and making music is her way to express these emotions.
Did I say that? Small woman with big emotions?
I think on your Spotify description it's I'm a small woman with big emotions.
I completely forgot about that. That's true. Yeah.
So let's start straight away. You've released your first single, Different.
Yes.
Yeah, how is that going?
It's going okay. I didn't have many expectations, to be honest. I just really felt the need of releasing this because I spent so much time on it. So I'm just happy about the whole process, and I lived it as an experience rather than, okay, I'm releasing this has to be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, less of a career
I was testing the water.
Nice. And we're gonna talk about this a little bit. Just give us a bit of your influences. Voices.
So voice, really, yeah. In terms of voice, I've been listening a lot to Adele, Amy Winehouse, Lauryn Hill. She's a big influence, not only for the voice, but like for everything. Like Lauryn Hill, she's my main reference. Most recently, Georgia Smith, Snow Allegra. I don't know. I'm very connected to my feelings, so I really invest most of my creative process and my music in general in dive into feelings and then eventually come up with a song. So I don't have like a title and description, but yeah.
So it's kind of like, because we were talking before, Lucia, about like soul, like it's your music is kind of a representation of your soul.
It is very personal to me. So I can't write music without feeling involved in first person. So that's the only way I can.
That's where everything starts for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And like, what kind of moved you to move to London? Like, tell us a bit about your story.
Okay. So mainly like studies. So I started studying music in Rome, but that was like a very long process. I mean, not process, but it was very long in terms of course length. It was like 6 years or something.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then I didn't even think, it wasn't nothing planned. It was like, I kind of did it on a whim. So basically there's Francesca, a dear friend of mine, that we're
gonna also have on the podcast.
Yeah, nice. She was the one who was like, listen, I found out about this school in London. I'm going to an open day. Do you want to come with me? Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's so cool. But I was curious, I just wanted to go. And I've been to London. I had been to London just once, but very like quickly. So I wanted to see London again. And then we went there. I go to this open day and I felt like a kid at the adventure park, I was like, ooh, everything was amazing. I fell in love with, everything about like the school. And I was like, actually, I probably move. I think I want to move. And it's something also like studying abroad is something I've always wanted to do. So it was scary because I didn't think too much about it. I just went for it.
When did the idea of becoming an artist, when that happened?
Kind of later, like I didn't know. I know that I wanted to be a singer. I didn't know that I wanted to be an artist. So I kind of realized it in the process. Yeah. So I started as like doing music performance. And then I knew about this songwriting course. I used to write songs, but it was nothing. Like I tried, but then I left it. Yeah. And then I realized, actually, I think I want to work on my things. I want to do my things. And then I got closer. I got, I asked around, how's the songwriting thing? Is it good? And they were all like, yeah, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, maybe I should change. I feel like I need to explore. I went on a whim for that, because I didn't know what it was going to be about, if it was really my thing. I've never done something like that. By the time I did the audition, I had 1 song and a half, literally. My audition, I was like, I had to present 2 songs, and I was like, I have 1 song, but then the other one I still have to finish. Is that okay? And it was like, yeah. So I did the audition, got in, and it's when I found out, okay, this is my thing. I love this. And I started writing. Then I was pushed. And I think that was key for me, because, when you have someone telling you, you have to do this, like you have to write a song every week. I was like, oh my God.
Nice.
And then I actually did it. And the more I did it, the more I got into it. And the more I got into it, the more I found out about who I am in terms of music as an artist. And I loved it because it's been a process. It's been a journey. And when I moved here, I didn't move here thinking, I want to be an artist in London. I found out that I am an artist while I was following this journey. So that's cool.
That's really cool.
Really good, nice. I remember, because we did the first year of performance together, I remember how you were, like you said, you weren't pushed.
Yeah.
For you, there was like, okay, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and it kind of came naturally, and there wasn't enough challenge in a way for you. So I'm really happy that you decided to move. I was a bit sad when you did move to songwriting. but then I'm happy now seeing you that you've made the right choice.
You feel it when you're not in the right environment. You kind of feel that. And I felt like, okay, we're gonna learn this song and then I'm gonna sing it. And I as you said, I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel that.
Nice.
So
that's really good though. It's good that in a way you find your because when you leave school, there's so much pressure to kind of know what you want to do, but in a way you have to try things out in order to say no. I don't want to do that, and this is now what I want to do. And it's
just fascinating discovering in a way in the process.
When you write your songs, kind of what's the part that you most enjoy? Like, how did you start? Like, what's your process in a way, or does it change?
It changes. It's always it's not always different. Basically, most of the times it's me sitting on a piano and going through some chords. And then the thing about me is that I have to be in the zone. So when I'm in the zone, I love that when it's just, I'm there and then I start writing and it all comes so naturally. That's the way I wrote some of my songs. And those are the ones I'm more attached to.
So you start with the chord progression.
Sometimes when I feel the need of writing a song, but I'm not very inspired. What I do, I go through type beats that are in my genre. So I type, I don't know, soul, R&B type beats, stuff like that, and I improvise. And then I find the one that I'm like, ooh, I like this vibe, and I have a melody line in mind, so I start with that melody line. So I take that melody line, I put the chords on my piano, and I just go on from there.
And then the lyrics come later.
And oh my God, the lyrics is so weird. For me, sometimes it's frustrating because I have this sound in my mind, so I have this and it has to end in ah because it sounds nice. So I kind of my lyrics most of the time serve the melody rather than being, it's very rare that I have the lyrics and then I turn it into a song. It's more like it has to have an ah and then a oh, and then I found the words as much, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. So my first scratch, I always words put together that sound very good, but then I go through the lyrics, I read it, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I need to change it. But the thing that I love is that I start from there, and there are some words that are recurring in my mind. And I write them down, and then I actually, it's like a puzzle. It's and sometimes I don't understand the lyrics, but then I read it. Like the more I write and the more I edit and redraft, the more it makes sense. It comes together, and I'm like, this is what it was. This is what I wanted to say, and it makes sense. And I'm like, it's always surprising, I have to say, but it's cool. I like it.
Like it's quite unique. I like because I know other songwriters, and like I think often people do the lyrics first, or like the lyrics.
That's the way I do. I have the lyrics, and then from there the song comes.
I think it just happened for Back to You, which is one of my songs. I wrote the lyrics, and then I went through like a type beat, and I tried the lyrics on the type beat, and I was like, this works. But I think that was just luck.
I think you can try approaching.
It's interesting to have,
one.
but I actually have so many notes that I could turn into a song, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't.
If it doesn't talk to you.
No.
No, it's nice to have your own unique way of approaching it.
Yeah, and it's also interesting to know, like you said, you have an opposite approach, and it's I'm very like sound driven when I write.
And melody driven a lot.
A lot.
I think there is a lot of the R&B influence.
I guess.
They have this catchy.
I guess.
Nice, lovely. And what about Different? How did that?
Different is actually one of the songs that it was actually a brief that I had for the songwriting course I was doing. The brief was write a song on a type beat.
Okay.
Perfect.
Say less. So I did that, and that's when, like, I remember my teacher when he heard it, it was like, it really sounds good, but like, what the fuck are you saying, basically? Like, because like I just put some words, but the chorus was like, no, there was the word different, but then I didn't know how to make it work in a sentence, so I just said, I don't remember what I said, but it didn't make sense. And then I redrafted, and I had a couple of redrafts, maybe more. I redrafted it a lot in terms of lyrics, because I was pretty confident with the melody, but the lyrics, I had to redraft it a lot. And that's how it was born. And then, I had it on this type beat recorded, but I wanted to have an actual production, like an original production, and use the type beat as a reference. So that's why, like, how it happened, basically.
And how is finding the producer process?
That was long. That was so long. And very frustrating. I went through a lot of different producers, and they were good, but they were good in their own thing, and it didn't resonate with my thing. So I was like, I was talking to a friend last time, and I was saying, it's like finding your soulmate, because it has to be someone that has the same vision, that has the same kind of influences, music taste, and is invested in what you do, likes what you do. So you just have to find each other and connect.
So is the third half of the apple, if you think of having the second half as being your soulmate in life, then the third one is your producer.
In music, definitely. And then before I found Asaf, I went through different producers. And then I found Asaf, which is the name of the producer who produced
Shout out
Different.
to Asaf as well.
Because he sent me, I didn't know him. It was during COVID. I was in Rome, we were quarantined, and he texted me saying, I like your voice, I like your songwriting, I have this backing track, and I want you to write a song on top of it. And I did, and the song is, I love that song. I'm going to release it at some point. And I was like, oof, maybe it's him. Because like we worked long distance and we made such a good song together. And I love his sounds. He's very edgy, and he has like same influences. So I was like, actually, I have to produce these songs. Why don't we collab on this? And why don't you try to produce my other songs? So that's what we did.
Really nice.
Yes, it took a lot of time. It was a long process, and I didn't realize. That's why I told you, like, for me, it was an experience, this song, rather than a planned.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how long it was. I think it took longer for us because it was a collab, so we had to, be in the same room together, and most of the times I was busy or he was busy. It started to catch up in London. We all know that. So it took a while, but then eventually we made it. And yeah, I thought it was gonna take when we were producing the track, people were like, "Oh, when are you gonna release it?" I was like, "Yeah, I think by the end of the month." I was like, "Yeah, this summer," and then it took me almost 1 year.
Yeah.
So I'm very slow as well. So
do you feel like it's kind of informed the way that you approach other releases, like in terms of?
It did.
Yeah.
Like now I'm much more aware of how important time management is in a release plan. Before I was just like, yeah, I'm doing this. I don't want to set a deadline. I don't want to say it's going to be out this. And I thought it was okay, but it's actually not okay. And I realized that
productive.
Like you have to tell yourself this is the day the track is out. And that's when I did that I actually managed to make it happen, because I realized I kept postponing and saying whenever it's ready, it's fine. I don't want to overwhelm myself, but you need to
you need to
set something, at least a date.
Like, is that kind of advice that you'd give to someone who, like, let's say hadn't started maybe writing yet, is to sort of make a plan, like a plan of action in a way, not like too regimented, but kind of just to set a few deadlines.
Be a bit more disciplined, you mean? Yeah, definitely. Not in the creative act. I wouldn't set deadlines in a creative act, because I think the creative act is such a subjective and personal thing. So I wouldn't say to someone, you need to set a date for when you're gonna finish to write this song, or when you have it. I think once you have it recorded, the whole promoting and release plan, all of that part, which is the part I hate the most, there you have to be disciplined, I would say.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's important to give priority to the right things,
Nice.
I think.
And you also have the live
live side,
Yeah.
exactly. That's it, yeah. So there are different sides.
Nice. And how is different?
I love that too.
How is different live compared to in the studio recording?
It's very different, and that's why I was talking. So I have this band. I have my band, and we perform my set live. And when we do different, I just love the vibe. It's much more. I wouldn't know how to describe it, but stripped back and very like mellow and chill. And that's why I also really like the live version. That's why I'm planning on recording a live version, like a studio version with the band, and releasing and putting my EP, which would be, because I love the version that Asaf did, the produced one, but I also think it delivers a lot when it's played live.
Nice.
I think that's the amazing thing though about like your own songs and everything, because like, I don't know, going to see different people live is like a song can change so many different times and become like so many different versions. That's really nice. It's like to see the evolution of a song.
And also the different forms of the song. And I'm personally very attached to just a straight back version. So even like, for example, piano versions or like acoustic versions live with the band, I think it's very important for me to include them in my sound, in my...
Amazing. And you've mentioned an EP, so this one has been released as a single.
This was my debut single. Now I have the second single ready. I have to be very disciplined now. This is the moment where I have to be very disciplined because I want to shoot some videos for it. I've learned a lot from the first release.
Nice.
So what I didn't do with the first release, I want to do it with the second one. So I want to have some video material. I need to plan this out, to think about promotion, stuff like that.
Nice.
So the song is ready. I think I'm gonna set release date once I have the videos because I don't want to stress out. I want to have all the material ready and then saying, okay, now we think about the promotion and the release plan, and this is the day it's gonna come out.
Makes sense. So now we have a little game for
Now
you.
that's the fun part.
The game is rewind the song, and
I also have no idea what's coming.
she doesn't know what we're gonna do, but it's something I think we've done in the past.
We did,
and
we
I
did,
know
and I remember that's
how
why.
good and fun it is. So I wanted to do it again with you.
Oh my god.
So we have 3 songs. I'm gonna play one little section of a song, but it's reversed.
All right. Is it definitely a song that I know?
It's definitely a song that you know. Ludo number 1.
Mambo number 1. No.
What's up?
I'm trying to reverse it, but it's not working.
So I want you to try and replicate it, okay?
Okay.
And then we reverse it.
Go for it.
Almost. I think you can hear the first.
I can see it. I can see it.
Listen carefully.
No, guys, I'm very bad at this game.
It's easy.
I can see it. Can I record better, maybe? This is perfect.
Let's see.
I can see the higher.
I can see your halo.
Oh my god.
Number 2.
This is Arab.
Listen. It was perfect. Is not as precise.
It can't be precise because I have no clue what this song is. Mirror? No, guys, I'm
also no.
No.
My tears dry on their own.
I don't know this song.
My tears dry on their own.
Sì, vabbè.
Last one.
Okay. Miet man de most. Miet man de most. This is kind of Swedish.
Do it again. It's not. Let's see.
Strumming my head with this finger. So the third one, which was the this one was the easiest one. The third one was the easiest one. I appreciate how you found my references for this song.
Yes. Let's go back to talking about you, and now let's talk about your voice.
Okay.
Because I feel like you have a really distinct and unique sound. how did you work on that?
Thank you.
How did it like evolve? Like how did
okay.
your sound?
How it did evolve, I don't know. I just know that it has changed a lot during the years. Like even like listening to 2 years ago, how I sang 2 years ago. I think one of the key things is that happened to me. It's realizing through vocal technique that we have different setups, different placements where we can put our voice. Before I thought, okay, this is the way I sing, and if I don't reach that note, it's because I can't do it. Because I thought that, you know, chest voice was the only thing existing. And then studying technique, I found out that there are so many different sets, and that helped me to kind of dive into it and explore a bit more my voice. And also like relaxing. Like I've been working a lot on, I still struggle with it, to be honest. I don't think I have that vocal control that allows me to just be completely confident and relaxed, especially when I'm not in my comfort zone. So for example, I've been singing chest voice all my life, and then like this mixed voice, head voice, it's something that's kind of new to me. So I'm kind of still a bit, when I have to sing in head voice, I'm still a bit, am I gonna make it? But yeah, it definitely, the more I find out, and the more, you know, I stay and I practice on the different setups, the more my voice evolves, I guess, because I find different colors, different, you know.
Nice. And what is it you are working on at the moment then?
In terms of what? In terms of voice? I'm working a lot on this mixed voice, head voice, because I have, like, I'm working on how to make it more powerful, because I think I have a very weak falsetto, a very weak head voice, but then I'm kind of staying on that setup and just like putting, you know, trying and exploring it. And even though most of the times I come up with worst sound ever, but
you need to allow,
but I need to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell my students when I teach, like, they're so, like, it's so hard to just let it go and just try it out, because it's embarrassing. And you know, when you sing in front of someone, usually when I do this, I'm alone in my room, but with my students, I'm there, even though I'm not judging, but you know, it's embarrassing to just let it go for it.
I think it's easy, like, as well, when, like, because we all have things that we're working on, we all have things that we want to improve on. Yeah. And like when you try something and it doesn't work, it's really easy to kind of not want to do it again. Like to be like, oh, okay, I'll just focus on like, yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, it's important to like know that you have things that you want to improve on, and that everyone does. It's not
and by failing and by making horrible
especially
sounds,
things that
you learn,
don't make you feel comfortable, that are not in your comfort zone. And
so how is teaching then? You've mentioned teaching to students. How is that affecting your voice and your sound in your music as well?
It is actually helping me a lot. In terms of like, even like from the most simple thing, which is warming up your voice before you sing. It's something that I'm not very disciplined with that either. So I don't really warm up and do my exercises before singing. And now that I'm teaching, it kind of forces me to. It's good. I think it's good for my voice to just always be constantly stimulated.
And what about your music? Are you thinking about putting some head notes, head mix voice notes in your sound, or like maybe not in the next release?
I'm a bit scared. I wrote a new song a few weeks ago, actually last week, and the first version of the song had a head voice bit. Nice. And then when I went to record it, I didn't sound like it. I wasn't comfortable with it, you know. And I thought, if I have to play this song live, I've been very like scared and not brave at all while writing that song. So I just want to feel, because I just want to feel comfortable, you know. So I tried it out, because I think in terms of melody, it worked pretty well. But then when I went to sing it, and also when I was relaxed, just playing it around, it kind of, I got to that note and it sounded good. And then when I had to record it, so I was like, okay, this is real
thing.
and I have to record it, so I have to be good.
Then overthinking
I
took
overthought
over.
it, and then that kind of made me change the melody and say, actually, if I do a lower note, it's kind of cool. So now the version is with the lower note, but you know, I'm trying.
But it's a first step.
I'm trying.
So on the next release, like you might put a
Yeah, and if you're working on it as well, then like if it kind of evolves and like gets better, then you can slowly sort of start to incorporate that.
Yeah, I would love that, because also most of my influences, they have such a nice head voice, and they have all those up and downs, and I love that in a song. But yeah, I just don't feel too comfortable with it right now.
But you're working on it, and that's the best. That's the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like, you know, with your students, do you kind of find that they are do they write songs as well, or do you kind of encourage them to find like their own, like how do you approach teaching them in terms of finding their own voice?
Most of my classes, especially when I get a bit like to know the students a bit more, I think it's all, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think most part of singing and vocal technique, it's brain. And especially for someone who first approaches to singing, it's very, very hard to just like I was saying before, to just relax and let it go. So that's what I insist the most on with most of it, because the most popular problem, I'd say, that I saw in my students is the fact that it's the tension, which I relate so much, because I still struggle with it after so many years. But I encourage them. Some of my classes are like a therapy session sometimes, because I'm like, you have to relax. I'm not here to judge you. We have to try it out. You have to relax. And it's so difficult, because I realized that it took me so much time to just tell my body to relax. So focusing on letting go. So I insist a lot on just relaxing and let it go, because when you don't overthink and when you don't think about it, you just leave the space, you just release the tensions, and you just leave the space for the sound to be clear and beautiful.
Relaxing to produce the best sound they can, the most relaxed
Just give
one.
space to the voice. So open your mouth wide, relax the jaw, relax the throat. And it's hard because, like, you know, there are so many, including myself, like, it's not just singing, but the way you live life, you always tense, you're stressed. So just letting go.
As well as like the perception of what we listen, like you listen to a singer and you think, oh, wow, they are really giving them their everything, but then actually they are really relaxed here.
Exactly.
So especially on those high notes, those like, you think it's a yelled chest voice, but then it's actually the opposite, is not as tense and lifted, but is relaxed and chilled.
Yeah, that's true.
I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with like recording the vocals, because you were saying that with the high notes, for example, you could do it when you were like playing, and that kind of linked into the relaxing as well, because you were probably really relaxed and you kind of weren't overthinking it. And like, I think for me, especially when we ever do like vocal arrangements and stuff and we have to record it in, like my brain just kind of gets in the way.
Yes.
And it's like,
It's so annoying.
yeah, it's like I can sing it and I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds good, and then I record it, I'm
You
like,
know that meme that says like as soon as you press record, you stop knowing how to sing. You can't sing.
It's true.
That's what happens.
yeah. And it's really frustrating. Like it's I think it's like like learning how to sing well in like a studio
With that
way.
pressure on.
Yeah, is like another skill to sing.
That's true. That's true. Most people don't realize, and I didn't realize until I actually got to it, that also the recording process there's a lot to learn, you know. Because you press record and you have to be good. You know, that's the thing that your brain tells you. Now this is when you have to show that you are good, because this is going to be what people are going to listen
Forever.
yeah
They could listen for
exactly. So it has to be perfect, and if you're a perfectionist, that kills you.
Yeah.
That kills it. So I really relate to that too.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's in a way like the perfectionist thing that you said. It's like trying to not put that pressure.
Yeah.
Or like,
Indeed, the best recordings turn out to be the most natural ones. The ones where you like, they just come out naturally, you're not thinking, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember I was in a recording session with someone, it was long ago, and I kept telling him, don't tell me when you're recording. Because you know, you maybe when you rehearse and you know that you're not being recorded, you do the best track, you do the best take, and no one is recording it. So that was kind of my trick, my way to record a few years ago. I was like, just don't tell me that you're recording me, because if I know that you're recording me, I'm gonna be shit.
It's the end of it.
Yeah.
And is that like moment of the recording happening more often at the beginning, so like you're chilled and doing it, or is it at the end when you're like drained from all the energy, you can't even think about, so you just go for it and it does happen?
I'd say the worst part is towards the end, because personally there's always that one bit that I'm never happy with, and I re-record it, and then it's been 14 takes and still I'm not happy with it, and it's never gonna come because I'm fixated with it. And maybe what I do sometimes, I just leave it there. I go, I don't know, I drink a coffee, I don't know, I do whatever I want to do. I just take a break and I get back to it, and it's like, you know, recording for the first time. Your mind has to be a bit, fresh.
So the best takes for you are the first ones.
Not the very first. It's like after 2-3 takes, I'd say I'm in the zone.
In the zone.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then so I'd say a good compromise between, because the very first take is, like we said, pressure on. You have to be good, and it's never good.
Then we'll just kind of ask about like what your plans are for the rest of the year. Well, you kind of touched on that.
Told you that.
Yeah, but also like where people can find you on social media. Like
now you can actually find me anywhere, I guess, because once I open my Spotify page, I'm on Spotify, so I'm on all digital platforms.
Instagram,
TikTok.
what are you?
I don't suggest following me on TikTok because I don't post music related content. I just do dumb.
But they can know a different side of you.
Yeah. Facebook? No, we don't like Facebook anymore.
Facebook's
Old fashioned.
Will you have the official music videos coming on YouTube?
YouTube. I forgot about YouTube.
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, I post demos there as well. Because it's, I post whatever on SoundCloud. So if you want to hear more.
Unedited
yeah,
versions
mixed
stuff.
like the stuff.
No.
I post it there. So let's recap. Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok if you feel like you wanna know a bit more. But like I don't recommend that. And SoundCloud.
And what about like gigs? Do you have any gigs?
I haven't anything planned yet, because as we were talking about, prioritizing stuff. Now I'm thinking about the record, like my single. But I wanna, especially when my second single is gonna be out, I wanna start again doing lives again. So definitely you're gonna see me out there.
So September, November, it's gonna be the.
I said that.
You said that.
Yes, September,
To
November.
catch a live show.
New fresh. Yeah. No, not only live shows, but also music. Like
nice.
release.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now we're gonna do like a little arrangement of different, which were But thank you so much for doing that.
It's been very much fun.
Yeah. Yay! Bye.
My name's not the same since the day you called me. Oh, why play the game? Tonight I wish I lose it all. Forget about it and let go. Yeah, I should've told you. I should've let you know that I'm a stone cold, that I don't fall in love. But then I saw you, and I just left behind all of the things that didn't let me see me mine. Get lost to feel the difference. Your hand in my hand. Your body's the right place to make a difference.
Nice! Thank you for listening to Finding Your Voice, a singer's journey. This podcast has been brought to you by Vocal Venture. Follow us on all social media platforms at Vocal Venture to become a part of our community. Join us next week for another inspiring chat.
Finding your voice, a singer's journey.